Hello, everybody. This is Sara Perry, Psychic Medium, and this is your spiritual weekly guidance for the week of the 14th to the 20th of December 2020. Hello to everybody tuning in right now, and thank you to all of you who are liking, sharing, and subscribing this channel. Remember, if you'd like a private reading at the end of this, then just go on down to the website www.saraperrypsychic.com or .co.uk and do check out the monthly subscription offer that is still going. It is 50% off a normal reading. Monthly, goes out of your bank monthly, so it doesn't feel like a huge amount. If you are somebody who has regular readings, this could be something that you could do. And you can change up what you do every month. So you can have just a therapy, you can have a reading, a therapy, I mean like a session, a past life session, some mentoring, or just a general psychic reading. Anyway, do check that out. Everything's on the website, plus all my artwork, and everything else that goes on there. So what have we got this week? This is such an important week, guys. We have got the solar eclipse. Now this is what I call the first stage of the next stage, all right, the big one, the big conjunction that's coming in mid-month. Or the Christmas star as they're calling it, but you can listen to next week's for that information. But this week, Monday. So if you're listening on Monday, it's today. This is the time for a big reset in our lives, okay? So imagine you've all been a walking robot for the last, your whole life, right? You were put into, your soul was put into a body, a human body, and you were reset. Your mind was computerized. Your hard drive was set and reprogrammed or programmed to do certain things, to condition in a certain way, to be part of other people's lives, that kind of thing, right? So you've been doing that so long, and then all of a sudden, Monday, on the 14th of December, everything changes. Someone puts a different floppy disk into the hard drive and everything changes up. Now, many of you may have been experiencing exhaustion. I've heard from a lot of people recently, and they're all saying, "Oh, I'm just so tired. I'm just not motivated. I'm finding everything really, a chore right now. I'm just bored. I'm fed up with everything," and almost going lower than you've ever been. Almost like giving up, but it's not desperation so much, it's just lethargy. And this is due to this big transformational, the waves that are coming in and this big reset. Okay, so imagine up until Monday, or today, if you're listening on Monday, that everything has been retuning. You've been defragmenting your system, and all the little folders are being resorted out, and things are being deleted, and certain things are being recycled, and you're being rebooted several times, okay? And then somebody is upgrading your system from Windows XP to Windows 10, all right? That's what this is. It's like we are all human computers, and we are being rebooted, really, and refurbished, okay, from what we were. So you may be just going through, as you're defragmenting your system, you're picking up on a lot of past stuff. Things are being moved around, so your emotions are going to be all over the place. You may be feeling a little bit fearful about things that you haven't felt like for a long time. There may be old triggers that are coming up. Okay, and imagine the person who's rebooting you, they're going through all little folders going, well, do we want this? Right? And you're thinking, and this is a part of your childhood where you got bullied, and all of a sudden last week you were feeling really bullied by everybody and everything, because they're looking through the folder and they're going, do we need this? Do we need to just check this out? Do we need to keep this in here for the next time? Has this been dealt with? Because really, the universe, the Universal Task Force, and IT team who are dealing with this all are deciding, they're just double checking that everything is clear, everything has been learned, that that we are ready, that our system is ready for this next upgrade. All right, so I suppose it's a little bit like the millennium, wasn't it, when everyone thought the computers were going down. Now we're doing it humanly, it's a physical form rather than all the other stuff, the technical stuff. But if you think about it, the whole year, everything has just been breaking down. Everything has become uncertain. It's like all these new energies are coming in. Nobody knows what's going on. It's like, what do I do? What do I do? How do I exist in this world? And, it's because everything is changing. So this is the build up to the 22nd, where we've got this massive conjunction going on. And this is, this week, the beginning of a new 200-year era, guys. Anything could happen this week, right? Because you're going through a reset, depending on your sun sign, your rising sign, and it's going to be a really good idea to listen to all that. I expect some of you have been listening to astroscopes or astrology readings already on the internet about your personal sign, and do check out mine. They'll all be time stamped, and if they're not up when you listen to this, then they will be following very, very soon. It will be up for Monday. So each sign will be going through something different, depending on where, what house is affected by the solar eclipse. Okay, so some of you may get some good news job-wise. Some of you may get good news with money. Maybe you suddenly decide you want to change your whole life, and your whole thinking changes about your future. Maybe there's family issues going on. The most important message that is coming through all of this is that although this is a really positive time, it's also a bit of a foggy time. And this is linked to what Neptune's doing, okay? And it's causing a little bit of a foggy dream. So you may not be getting all the information. Now, this isn't, I suppose it's a little bit like Mercury retrograde, when we have to look at the details. This is the same message. If something amazing happens to you on Monday morning or Tuesday or during the week, and maybe you get that dream job, just double check all the details, ask questions. That's how you check the details. Don't just read what's there. If you see something that's written back to front, a word that isn't right or needs to be corrected, ask about it. If it's written in a certain way and you think, actually, that later on, that might be read slightly differently, negotiate terms. If you think that actually what you're being offered financially isn't enough, maybe you should negotiate. Always be open to that. This is a time for renewal. Now, look back to the last 10 days and the 10 days coming in. All right, the last 10 days will give you a little bit of insight of what's coming in, okay? And it will be a kind of the similar energy. But this eclipse will go on, it's like part of the next 6 months. So whatever is coming in or whatever is brought to you could be a new direction. I remember talking about, we're like going on a curve. You might have a plan. You might have had a plan last week, exactly what your goal is, and then next week it'll all completely change, okay? Someone's moved the traffic lights in the middle of the road. Like I said, someone's taken out the old hard drive and they've replaced it with something completely new. All these new programs, all these new apps going on, all these new ideas happening, and off you go. You just completely change your thoughts. And I've said to a lot of people, that I've had readings with, said, this person's not doing this, or they're not talking to me, or, we've broken up. I've basically said to everybody, expect the unexpected, because anything could happen. And I want you to stay as possible as, as positive as possible. Looking at this reading from a psychic point of view, coming away from the astrological point, things are going to start moving really fast. So they could just come in when you least expect it. You could wake up and suddenly, oh my God, it's like Dorothy, I've landed in Oz. I feel like health is going to be so much better for people. They're going to feel more motivated. You could be with somebody who has been really miserable or really tired or really depressed, and suddenly next week and I'm getting kind of Wednesday time as well. It's like this injection of energy going, I'm going to do this. I'm going to travel the world, what I've been doing. It's like you're waking up to a different person. Things that happen are very, very fateful right now. Okay, it's almost like this has been your destiny. And, if you've got a particular mission, and we've all got a mission on earth to get through, we've been put into these bodies and off we go. It's like that's going to be your mission. But for the first part, for some of you, it might only be 18 years so far. For some of you, it might have been on the earth for 40. For that part of it, you've been on this earth to get to this part, if that makes sense. This feels like the beginning. What is coming in is all about mindset. It's all about knowledge, higher vibrations. We've all been focused on material security, finding security, understanding what inner security is. That's what's been happening all year. What makes us secure? We do. The whole world could fall apart, okay? We could lose everything. But if you're really confident and secure in yourself, you'll be in your flow. You'll still be happy. You'll be centered. So everything is very faithful. There's going to be some, what I call a big injection of spiritual awareness coming in. If you're very, if you're very, working as a light worker, you are, practicing self-development, you're very connected to spirit. I feel like some people will suddenly tune up. Where you thought you were only clairvoyant, you could become clairaudient next week, or in the next 6 months. You could start developing that way. I'm seeing people finding new groups, new connections of people. Suddenly, these kind of soulmates appearing, but not just not soulmates, soul connections through work, through love. It's like it's time. And up until now, we've all been like holding on, like by the skin of our teeth. Yeah, even myself, there's that sense of like, really? How much more faith do you want me to have? But it's really important that you do. There's going to be lots of new shoots of growth. It might only be minimal for some of you. It might be really subtle. But I will advise you, and I've been guiding people to do this for a long time, is keep a journal. Keep writing down those really, really positive things. I had a day last week which was just complete receiving. I've moved into a new energy, a new house, as many of you know, and it's like things are being brought to me now. It's like I looked at the garden, it's empty, and then suddenly everyone's saying, different people saying, oh, I've got this plant. And it's like, yeah, great. So now I've got like 6 aloe vera plants outside, which is something I wanted forever. Someone's giving me a bougainvillea plant that is just already grown, which will make my space look beautiful. And other people saying, oh, I've got this and I've got that. And it's like it's all coming together. And it's all coming from manifestation, it's visualization, feeling it, believing it. And it's been a long, long journey, okay? So I'm not just putting this out there and giving you all this like mumbo jumbo. I have been there. I'm still living it, okay? I'm with you guys. Now, there's some kind of loyalty will be shown. You may have somebody knocking on your door you haven't seen for a long, long time, who suddenly gets in touch and says, I really need your help. Okay, so the light workers out there are going to start finding that people are kind of grabbing onto what you're doing now. They're kind of going, oh my God, that actually works. I've been putting this down for so long, but I've tried everything else that's, in reality is on paper and it should work and it's scientific. But actually, I need something more now because we've gone past that. We're going up a level and I need something new. I need a new injection of, excuse the pun, to the vaccines, but, I need something in that's different. I need some extra energy. I need some new idea. And that's the person that's going to do it. And suddenly all those people that have been, walking on the light side, not the wild side, the light side, it is the wild side in a way. It's kind of dangerous. Where maybe we've been ridiculed or, put down, or, we've had to like rise above all these, really, really trust, because it isn't the easiest journey. Suddenly we're like open for business. So if you're going into that kind of area, I would guide people to start doing research, looking further at least. You don't have to start buying pendulums and, healing hands and whatever, but maybe look further than what is on paper. And that's another thing, it's the details. You might see it there, someone might be saying it to your face, but don't just take that as read. Ask, double check, get it in writing. If someone goes, here's a great job, it's going to, you're going to get 20 grand a year and you're going to get a car and you're going to get a house and, you're going to be in business forever. And you go, thanks, great, okay, when do I start? Next week. And you get there and the week after, and you didn't have a contract, you didn't get it in writing, they'll turn around and say, oh, well, no, we didn't say it was, it's just like a startup company. It could have failed, but they didn't tell you that. Do you see what I mean? So people might leave out details. So if you've got a checklist of what you want, you're sure about what is fulfilling, what is your passion, what is going to make you happy, and you do that now, literally at the beginning of the week, and really be certain about what you want in life. And it can be simple. It doesn't have to be a great big high-powered job. It doesn't have to be, the richest person in the world as in monetary. It could just be being happy. The one thing that made me happy All I wanted when I moved here was to sit out on a terrace with a cup of coffee in the morning and watch the sun come up. And the place I was living in didn't give me that option, the easiest option. And now I'm spending more time on the terrace than anywhere else, and it's so simple. And suddenly all the other issues aren't a big deal. So I'm saying is sometimes the fulfillment that you're looking for is in you. It is in you, but it's not. It doesn't have to be what everybody else says it is. What's in that textbook? It's just what makes you happy. If you want to stop work, you want to retire early and you can afford it, and you just want to go off traveling somewhere with your partner and just be peaceful, even if you were the top business person or best-selling writer and you just want to give it all up because you're not happy, that's okay. Because next week you might wake up and go, yeah, actually this is too stressful. And what was I doing it for recognition? Was I doing it for what does it really make me happy? Because every time I finish one book I've got to write another one and I'm under pressure because there's a deadline. And then I'm always questioning myself and I haven't spent any time on my self-worth. And really I could have kind of I need to rejig things. Okay, so this is a great time to do what is good for you. You can take the protection down now. I feel like we have to be vulnerable. Well, we do. We have to be vulnerable to love. If you want to find love, you're going to have to pull those barriers down a little bit to let it in, all right? Because it's all about receiving. But I feel like that's the stressful thing right now. It's the doubt. It's like, oh my God, do I just do it? Do I believe it? Do I trust it? So even if something great comes in, you may kind of be going through that weird thing because you're still rewiring, okay? Think about you're on a startup. The computer's starting up. It's just like removing everything, it's been going for a reboot and it's like, okay, just, when you like turn a computer off and then it says, right, we're just going to update. So imagine when something good comes in, you might be you're still going through that update. So it could be a little bit nerve-wracking. Go for it. As long as you've checked all the details, then why not? You're starting a new journey. So why not do something new? Wipe the slate clean. Get rid of the old and start again. What is it that holds you back? What is it that you feel guilty about? What is it that blocks you? What are your old patterns? Because you may have been awakened, or reminded of those last week or over the last 10 days. I know a lot of people going, I can't believe it. I thought that was over. But it could have been something from your childhood as well. Think about where the triggers are coming. So this is a spiritual week. It's a victorious week. There's going to be more options coming in. There's a lot of creativity. Lift up to that higher level. But I see emotionally people changing like that. Okay? In an instant. And you are going to be surprised at how much control you probably have, some of you. But some of you come to a crossroads. But this is a crossroads of movement, of progress. We're going through a shift in ourselves, our personal house. A house of shift. Okay, if you want to understand more about your sun sign, then please go and listen to those or check back later when they come up, but they will be there by Monday. And I wish you all a wonderful, wonderful week. Again, if you'd like a private reading, just check in with me at my website. And if anybody is interested in a virtual online course, Quantum Vision course, please do leave me a message or email me. You can contact me just by leaving a comment below and I'll give you details. I will be doing something before the new year, and this is about refocusing your goals, helping people get back on track, and just creating some new exciting visions and being expansive. So if you've kind of lost that knack of things, do hook up with me. I will be putting details up very shortly, and I shall speak to you all soon. Bye for now.